While the kid we're going to look at today doesn't look like much at the start of the game, this 16-year-old has some very nice potential numbers. But will he grow to reach them? Let's find out. Ishé Samuels-Smith is sitting right now in Everton's under 18s at 16 years old. He's a left back with a wing back left possibility. His numbers just don't look great at all. I mean, 10s. The 13 crossing is nice. Aggression of 14. Determination of 16 is fantastic. Teamwork and work rate of 14 for a 16-year-old is fantastic. But pretty much almost everything else is just nothing to write home about. But he does have a potential of about 148, so he can grow really nicely if he's given the right motivation, the right amount of playing time, the right training, the right coaching, everything. As we always know, this save doesn't always give you that. So we're going to see how he ends up in 10 years' time and beyond. But for right now, you really wouldn't want to spend more than 5 million on him. I mean, especially for potential possibly, but he's going to be sitting in your squad for quite a while or out on loan for quite a while until he can actually reach some of his potential. But he's one that was listed on the FM Blog's website as the 5 must-buy FM23 Wonder Kid defenders you need in your team. So we're going to take a look at him and how his career ends up. As you can see, he's got no milestones yet. He's got no biography yet. He's been sitting in the under 18s in Everton. He's rated at 2.1 to 6.2 million at 180 per week. That's it. So right now we're going to skip 10 years ahead and see how his career's gone. So as you can see, 10 years on, the end of the 2033 season, he has moved to Man City. He's actually moved all over the place. We'll take a look at that in just a minute. But he is now sitting in Man City squad as a squad player, 110K per week, so quite the bump up. But 13.5 to 40 million, so he's definitely not a fantastic left back right now. His numbers look pretty good, though, to a certain extent. Crossing at 15, mwah, love it. First touch of 12, heading of 12. Marking and passing of 14 and 13, not great for a 27-year-old, I would have to say. Tackling and technique of 10, yeah, that's not good at all. Definitely much better on the attacking side than the defensive side. But mentals are not too bad. Physicals look fantastic. Acceleration and pace of 15 and 16. Agility of 16 and stamina of 17. Determination is still there at 16, but a lot of his mentals, 14s, 13s. You got a 15 of leadership, which is great to see. Especially at a 27-year-old. So yeah, he looks like a very good squad player. Definitely not someone for Man City, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Barcelona, who's probably going to start every match. However, Premier League, you could see so far something happened. I mean, only a squad player. 4 starts, 3 off the bench. 7.0 average rating though. Not too bad for 7 appearances. So I said earlier that his potential numbers are around 148. Just so you know, as you take a look at him now, this is him at current ability of 142 is what I'm seeing in the database right now. So that's what you expect to see at 142. That's what you would expect to see at him at 27 years old. So he is reaching a lot of his potential, but for a top level club, squad player. So if you can get him early on, maybe throw him in the lower leagues. You might have a fantastic player that can really grow thereabouts, and then maybe get some money for him later on down the line as you reach the Premier League. Who knows? But this is him at 142, just so you know. So for career stats, as you can see, he was at Everton for a couple of seasons, loaned out to Northampton, loaned out to Oxford United, loaned out to Nottingham Forest, West Brom, and Hanover 96, where he did okay. Not too bad, 6'8", 6'7", 6'7", 5. Not bad at all. Moved to Watford for 3 million in the 29-30 season. No appearances whatsoever, and then bought immediately after by Hamburg in 29-30. How does that work? So he must have gotten absolutely nothing in the AFL Championship with Watford, and then Hamburg said, "Yeah, we want him 8.25 million to the Bundesliga. Sure, why not?" So 14 that season, 693, 694. So the last 2 seasons, 7 total appearances at Man City. Why would you go to Man City? You were doing okay. You're not even a regular starter there, except for maybe 1 season, and then probably a big money move to Man City. 19.75, not expensive whatsoever. So yeah, lower leagues. Take a look at this kid and see how he does. I mean, especially with these seasons right here, League One, Championship. There you go. Moved to Bundesliga, Hanover, and the 2 Bundesliga, and then off to Germany. But overall, he doesn't really get to be good for the top tier, of any European level until maybe 29-30 or thereabouts. So, Milestone wise, nothing much. Seasonal best 11s, promotion from Bundesliga 2, promotion from Sky Bet Championship, promotion from Sky Bet League 1. So he's in a lot of promotion teams, which is great to see, especially if you're on loan, but then immediately sold by Everton to pick up some cash. But seasonal best 11 for Hamburg, scored his first senior club debut for Hamburg against that team, and then bought my Man City for 19.75. Now, injuries can be a problem, it looks like. He has a lot of them. We've definitely seen, a lot of different players that have a lot more of this than he does. So he's not really in the major category, but you can see two majors in the last several years, in the last 4 years, a couple moderate scattered about, mostly slight, so not too bad. Something to keep in mind. That's just something to keep in mind. Nothing too bad at all. Definitely, I would say on the average mark. Biography doesn't really have a lot. Began his career at Watford in 2930. His spell at Watford didn't last long, and in 2930, they should really put when in 2930. He joined Hamburg for 6 million. 6 million, and then it went to 8. I don't know. But making 92 appearances and scoring 1 goal in 3 years. He joined his current club, Manchester City, for 19.75, and has currently made 7 league appearances for the club, but has won nothing to his name. Yeah, I mean, it definitely one to take a look at. Definitely a future one, unless you're League One, maybe in a couple of seasons to try and look at him and pick him up. But overall, yeah, not too bad, I guess. Bench player, squad player, emergency player. There you go. So at 36 years old, this is the end of the 2042 season. This is actually the last season I have on the books right now in my saves. He does plan on retiring at the end of the season, 629 at 42. He is listed at 1K. He is actually transfer listed, which makes no sense because he is leaving. Yeah, there you go. He is at Cardiff. He did bounce around, and I'll get to that in a minute. But you can see some of his numbers. Crossing a 15 is still fantastic. First touch heading, some of these numbers have just gone down. That's as usual. He is 36 years old. Physicals have gone down, but still not as bad as could be. Mentals, nah, they're okay. I mean, 16 determination has just mentals stick around for a while. So you could see that he's not too bad. He actually probably could move to, I always say the MLS, because the MLS right now kind of is a retirement league, as sad as it is. But squad player at Cardiff, 12.5K until he retires at the end of the season. He is a squad player. He has bumped it up a little into the midfield and the attacking mids. Still awkward. What is that? Makeshift. So I wouldn't really use him there all that much, but probably gotten 1 or 2 appearances there throughout the seasons, throughout the years. But let's take a look at his career stats and where he's been. So from Hamburg to Man City for 19.75, as we saw, 7 appearances total. Nothing the next season. Moved on to Zenit in Russia, 25.5 million, 13 appearances. I mean, he did a great job in Russia. Did kind of drop down to the second squad for a little while, dropped down the second squad again. 1 complete appearance, 770, a fantastic appearance apparently in 29 or 39.40. Moved to Brentford for 105K in the Premier League. Moved down to the Championship, so you could see they did not do all that well. 1 appearances that season. Moved to Cardiff for 25.5K. And yeah, he's like, you know what? I think it's time. It's time to call it a day. Injury-wise, anything? Yeah, ooh, wow. Yeah, he's got a lot of majors there. So from the 28 season onwards, he's had some serious problems. I don't know if that's just bad training staff, bad physios and things like that. But overall, this is a bad sight to see. He's got a ton of injuries. Most of the ones from the last half of his career are just majors. So yeah, 3 months for a broken ankle, 2 months for fractured lower legs, sprained knee ligaments. Yeah, no, I mean, the later half of the season, no thank you. Milestone wise, I mean, Super Kobach Rosli winners. I don't know anything about the Russian league, but Russian Premier League winners, Russian Premier League champions, he's got a couple of that. So Zenit's done very well. But overall, seasonal best 11s, nothing really. So, I mean, Russian player division head coaches select 3rd place. That's about his only personal trophy. Everything else is, from Zenit or thereabouts, relegation from Premier League. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have expected too much. He's definitely not a Chouameni or someone like that. But overall, he's not too bad of a career. Definitely one to take a look at as you start out the save. Keep him in your scouting books for a couple of seasons and see how he does, especially if you're lower leagues or if you're in the Premier League, you definitely probably wouldn't want him except for loans. You may want to get some money out of him after a little while. 19 million is not too bad. But overall, He's looking. He's not a bad look. Not a bad player to scout whatsoever. End of the career, yeah, he's gonna tank pretty hard. Is the only problem. But that is it for Ishé Samuels-Smith. I am Sefian FM for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.